Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Monday morning. I'm not too far off the road here. I'm working my way across to western Pennsylvania. I put my itinerary out there yesterday to everybody. So today I will be heading towards a town called Greensburg, Pennsylvania. From there, I'm going to be heading up to the following day to a town, I believe it's called North Versailles. Pittsburgh that would be Wednesday. Leaving Pittsburgh on Thursday and crossing into Ohio for the first time Friday morning. As I kind of said in the post I had yesterday, I was planning on taking Route 30 all the way across, and I'm still going to jump on that, but I got invited to some kind of country jamboree or festival in a town in Ohio, and I said that might be a really cool story, and certainly a lot more people to beat at one time, so I'm going to kind of diverge off of Route 30 for a short time in Ohio and head to that concert. That'll be towards the end of the week, and then work my way back up to 30 and go from there. So a few things. I want to give you a quick recap of the weekend. I did Sundays. On Sunday morning I did a recap of Saturday, met a couple great people, a couple of really nice journey stories. And I definitely want to share tomorrow with you. And at the same time, before I do that, I want to, I don't know, I'm trying not to be a total tool about this, but, and I shouldn't say frustrated, it's not the right term, but I want this to be about us, and I've gotten a couple really nice stories emailed to me and things like that. And maybe I don't even understand how the Facebook works, but I think you guys can go on and put visitor posts out there. You can go on and do your posts, and ideally that's what I'm hoping. I want the site to be about us, and I want people to share positive stories. That I've been meeting so many people that have great stories, great messages, even if they're simple things. It's the first week was just overwhelming in terms of more than I could have expected. It wasn't easy by any means, definitely not easy. My feet took a beating, but I also want to talk about that too. So to tell you how silly I am, the shoes I've got, these Brooks shoes, are unbelievable. In fact, I got to try to find a way to get a hold of the company, see if I can get another pair sent out down a month or two down the road. The blisters I got, I did get a little blister on each foot, but what happened was when I put a protective pad on the foot, I wrapped tape around my foot, and I didn't bother to put anything under the tape, not a sock, not another bandage. So the tape, which was normally wide, cranked down at this little, almost like fine rope. As I walked those 20 miles that day, it just cut into my toes and just destroyed the top of my feet. So when I say my feet hurt, there is a small blister on each foot, but it's actually the top of the feet from my own stupidity that hurts more than anything. But these last couple of Saturday night, yesterday's rest, soaking my feet in the pool, definitely helped. So I appreciate that. But going back to my kind of what I'll say is frustration, guys, please share your stories with us. I want to learn from you. I want everybody to learn from each other. I'm trying to teach as I go, but I'm also learning as I go, and I want this to be a positivity. So if someone feels or thinks that they want to share something and they can't get on there for some reason, please let me know, so I can figure out a way to do that. I'm going to try to talk to Toby, who's my IT. You guys are brilliant, and see if maybe on my website, if there's some little area we could put to kind of share, personal stories or attributions. Like I said, the book that I read frequently and have read many times in my life is The Right Words at the Right Time. And sometimes it's not anybody close to you, it's a complete stranger. Somebody just says something that clicks in that moment, and it clicks for them. And it might not have any meaning to anybody else, but in that moment it's perfect words, and I want to help us out with that regard. So so please do that, guys. Please make this engaging. Ask yourself what you can do, what you can learn from folks, what you can teach folks. Let's make this really a wonderful platform if we can. So I got into town late Saturday. As it turned out, my kids were hopefully going to get out here, but my son got asked to play in a baseball tournament, and they went 2-0 on Saturday. I think they lost on Sunday, but they did pretty well. So Hanover Rampage, great job, guys. And Heather, my kid's mom, and I, we just had a kind of I don't know why I'm picking up pebbles as I talk to you, I'm sorry. A little ADD maybe. But we talked about, the emotional toll on the kids and trying to keep it at a minimum. So my daughter stayed with her and watched the game. So it was kind of a quiet weekend for me. So Sunday morning I got up and I just wanted to do something. But I got to be honest with you, there's Friday, if you're listening to my Saturday Saturday voicemails or videos, the amount of love, appreciation, affection, compassion that was shown to me on Friday on all levels, but in particular this little town called Stoystown, Pennsylvania, has stuck with me, has meant the world to me. And so Sunday, I wanted to somehow, I've never been the most church-going fellow in the world. To those that don't know, I do believe in God and all that comes with it, and there's been a lot more of that questioning myself when I'm walking on the road and things of that nature, and talking to people like Joel and John, certainly Pastor Sharon. But I wanted to go have somewhere to just kind of sit down and with my thoughts on Sunday. So I thought, what better place than to go back to Stoystown and visit with Pastor Sharon and her congregation, and just sit down and kind of relax and take things in. And on the way, it was really nice. I stopped at a park. I think it's called Lynn's Run State Park. I don't recall now. Out near Ligonier, PA. And it was back off the highway, 5-6 miles, and just some of the prettiest scenery that I've seen in a long time. And I posted some photos of some little creeks and things like that. And just really let me get away with my mind. And then I got out to, I texted Pastor Sharon that morning, and she kind of said, hey, we're not having service in the church today. It's our picnic. We're going to have service at the picnic, but you're more than welcome to come. So I went out to the picnic, which the pavilion was literally right across from the VFW hall, where her brother Skip had met me for the first time Friday night. And I just can't really explain it to you. I don't know how many people were there, 40 or 50 people. But they introduced me, and every person just welcomed me with open arms. A complete stranger treated me with nothing but love and respect, interested in my story and my journey. In fact, Pastor Sharon had me get up and kind of get on the microphone and tell folks what it is I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So that was kind of my first public speaking engagement about this here. I guess I was on the news once or twice, but that was a little bit different. This one here, I don't know, it's just kind of a little different. Anyway, but guys, thank you so much. Stoystown's become one of my favorite towns in America, and it's nothing to do with other than the people that have been so nice. So I really just spent Sunday late morning into early afternoon there with those folks, and came back to the hotel and had some dinner and rested my legs. My feet feel great today. My knee, which was acting up a little bit, was I got a copper fit sleeve, so we'll see how that goes. Maybe I'll be a great testimonial for them if I can make it across the country with this right knee acting up. And it's not even the right knee, actually. It's the kind of a muscle right in behind my right knee on the high backside that seems to strain when I go downhill, not uphill. And the other part that's funny too, people have been asking me how much weight I'm losing, and I'm gonna write a diet book when I'm done, walk 3,000 miles and gain 6 pounds, because I really don't think I'm losing any weight at all, and there's a reason for that though. So when you're on the highway, what I've learned in the first week is that the trip isn't what I guess I imagined. Back by me in York, Route 30 for the most part is strip shopping centers, and it turns into basically residential. So in my mind, that was going to be Route 30 the whole way out, and I thought I'd meet little kids playing in the front yard with their parents, and older folks sitting on their porch, and I'd be engaged in the whole way like Opie from Mayberry. But that hasn't been the case at all. Route 30 has been nothing but 2-lane highway for the most part. No engagement whatsoever. So the only time I really get to engage anybody is when I stop in, these little mini marts to get something to drink, and I ask the folks around, tell them what I'm doing. Some see me because they pass me on the highway and ask what I'm doing. And at other times it's when I stop in, a diner or a McDonald's or something like that to rest my feet, get something cold to drink, and just kind of relax for a little bit, or even do one of these videos. So what's happening is, as I'm going to all of these places, it seems like I don't want to just go and sit there, so inevitably I get something to eat. And I'm still on the original $6, by the way, from York. I still have the original $6 that I left York with. Seems like every time I go to one of these places, somebody hears my story and will give me $5 or $10 for something to eat along the way, and I just keep cycling this through. But the problem is, for me, is I'm eating and I'm not even hungry, and so I really think I probably put on weight. So by the time this is said and done, if my book is a failure, I might come up with the cross-country diet book, walk 3,000 miles, gain 4 pounds. So anyway, today, guys, I just want to, it's humid out. The first day I've had any kind of humidity, but the weather's still perfect. Again, yes, it was a quiet day, not a whole lot to tell other than just a complete love and affection and compassion and appreciation from the folks in Stoystown, Pennsylvania at the United Church of Christ. I did get a couple of nice emails. I've asked those people if I could share them. I haven't heard back yet. I got an email this morning from a gentleman who's a journalist back near Harrisburg, PA, kind of where I'm from, and said, "Hey, I love what you're doing. I want to share your story, and I'd even love to walk alongside you for a short portion of the time." And guys, I can't tell you how excited I would be for that. I would love to have some folks come out, see me on the highway, and walk a mile with me, and you know, get to know them and find out their stories. Under no obligation, of course, but this is kind of how I hope it happening. The weird part about this trip was I thought the first week would be the toughest because it's not much of a story going from York to Gettysburg to Chambersburg. I'm just, you know, big deal. It's a guy from Pennsylvania, but I think this story is really going to ramp up in the next 2 to 3 weeks when I start making my way into other states. Ohio. If I'm in Ohio by the end of week 2, I assume I'd probably be in Indiana by the end of week 4. So these next 3 weeks I think are critical, and just in terms of exposure. I know some people have reached out to some local media outlets. As I said, you know, I can't imagine why some small local paper, and as I walk across the country, I see these small papers I didn't even know existed, you know, why they wouldn't want a story of something like this, but we got to get out ahead of those, and I'm asking you folks out there to help with that regard too. I have somebody that I'm going to be meeting, him and his family, tonight, Monday, so I've already got a place to stay. He lives in Greensburg. He didn't know me before this trip, but he liked the story. It was kind enough to run out some water and some energy mix for me last week. And I'm really excited, so I'm not going to keep you guys any longer. It was a pretty quiet day. I'm rambling. I love you guys. Grace, Kira, Landon, love you guys so much. Little Luna, I miss you too. Maybe Marianne or someone can send me a picture. I miss you, little girl. And to those of you that I've met, if I've touched you in some way, you know, again, that's what I hope to do, because you guys have touched me back and reached me in ways that I never thought possible. So we still have a long way to go, but I love you, and have a great day, everybody. Talk to you soon.